Bakari. Oh, has it worked? Well, he certainly thumped it.
Leighton James. And here's Ray Kennedy. Good effort. Fine save.
Good afternoon, and that's the kind of action you'll see during the next hour. While the gates are going down, the standard of football seems to be going up. There's much to admire in our two games, Southampton against Manchester United and Swansea v Liverpool, topped up with a veritable glut of goals from Scotland.
International football provides today's main stories, and we'll hear from Bobby Robson on the problems he's already encountering as England's new manager, together with the latest European Championship news involving Wales and the Republic of Ireland.
But we start the action at Southampton in the sultry autumn sunshine. Both teams share a disappointment in their midweek European matches, but in 3 days that has to be forgotten and morale restored to compete in the Premier competition, the First Division of the Football League. Your commentator, Barry Davis.
Amid Southampton's disappointing start to the season, life has been sweet for David Armstrong. He was married on Thursday, joins the England party this weekend for the match next week in Denmark, leaving behind an understanding wife, and before today's game collected the Player of the Year award presented by the London branch of the Southampton Supporters Club. And Armstrong is one of only 5 of last season's first choice still available to Laurie McMenemy. Keegan, Shannon and Graham Baker have departed. Wardren and Holmes are both on the injured list. And Steve Moran plays his first league game since last January. Manchester United are unchanged from the side which played Valencia in the UEFA Cup last Wednesday evening. Ashley Grimes and Martin Buchan continuing in the absence of Kevin Moran and Arnold Muren, who are both still injured. And in the league, Manchester United have scored 12 goals, exactly the number which Southampton have conceded. The referee this afternoon is Ray Lewis, who has to put up with the fact, poor chap, that he comes from a place called Great Brookham. So Southampton attack the goal to our left, and with recent history on their side in the meetings between these two here, United haven't won for over 4 seasons. Moran. And in fact it was Steve Williams. Mistake by Alberston. And Williams not taking the opportunity. Alberston was the player at fault. Wilkins has taken a very forward position. There he is, just in the foreground. Tennis white side. Stapleton on the far side. Met by Wright. Slightly up and under and slightly back too. Wilkins was intended for Duxbury. Wilkins. Duxbury looking for Whiteside, well up by Wright. Only to Wilkins. Robson. Wilkins really hasn't found his passing touch yet at all, short or long. Robson has gone down and has stayed down hurt. Useful ball. Williams. Castles. First shot was from Moran, that was from Agbula. Went straight down the tunnel of the terracing, but he struck it very sweetly. But the referee going to inquire about the fitness of Brian Robson. Armstrong. Question of how it falls, and is still. Good try by Moran and a good save. The angles changed then quite a lot for Bailey, who was watching Castles try to tee it up for himself, and in the end the shot came from a different player, and he got his body all behind it. Baker. And here's Whiteside. Fell kindly, but he couldn't use the opportunity. It's a curious challenge by Williams, for which a free kick is rightly given. Wilkins. Nicol. One member of the Northern Ireland squad beating another. But here's Koppel. Goal kick. Robson, thought by many people to be the future captain of England, if not for next week. Agbula. He does enjoy using his shoulder. Stapleton. Wilkins. Everything left of Koppel, including Rowe. And Robson it was who got into the centre of the 6-yard box. Good play by Koppel, reminiscent of England's opening goal against France in the World Cup. Robson arriving this time with a header which he got slightly on the side of the head and put wide. He does look to me to be in some pain. Smile from Lyle McManamy. Bill Macari moving around in the background. But the game in need of a goal to set it on some real course. Whiteside, Robson, if it will fall. The dive of one and the expression of the other said all that needed to be said about that. And we discuss afterwards whether or not it was covered by Shilton. Castles. Grimes. Robson. Nodded on by Nicol. Not the best piece of defending we've seen from Southampton. Koppel. Williams. Beautifully curled for Moran, but he has no support. Maybe he doesn't need it. Ball now going forward. Still Moran. Yes, that's a penalty. That's a penalty. Buchan really teased. He didn't get in a clean challenge, and it was a very genuine stumble by Moran, and the referee had no choice at all. Alan Ball places the ball on the spot. "37 minutes gone, and it's number 7, Alan Ball, against Gary Bailey. And it's wide! Oh, nothing shows on his face. And not too much on his. The chewing goes on, and so does the so far scoreless match. Whiteside. Grimes continues the run, and how well. Stapleton, Koppel. Armstrong came back with Koppel and enough to deny him. McQueen has come up on the line. Whiteside comes away from the near post, came off Rowe and off the crossbar. At a moment then when Shilton actually got himself on the wrong side of McQueen. Castles. But half-time is reached with a blank score sheet of Alan Ball having failed to take the best opportunity when a trip by Buchan on Moran gave Southampton a penalty, which the Southampton skipper put wide. But the crowd have enjoyed the first period, which they've greeted noisily all through. But so much fizz has failed to produce a goal. Brian Robson's injury confirmed as a hip problem, but the greater sufferer is Steve Koppel, and so on comes Lou Macari, finally into the action on the 7th match in which he's been named as substitute. Norman Whiteside and Lou Macari get the second half underway. United attacking the goal to our left. His England colleague Steve Koppel has the greater problem. He's injured again the knee, which cost him and England so much in the World Cup. And here's Robson, and a brilliant save by Peter Shilton. It's the measure of the man. He hasn't really had much to do. Most of the shots have been around the goal, but when called upon, made a really good one. Grimes just couldn't keep it down. Right. And Moran is offside. There by Duxbury. Left two sitting it out. Baker conceding the corner. Wilkins coming out from the law. Another corner. Shilton doesn't agree. And beautifully put in. Wilkins found little Lou Macari, and so Macari, having waited until the 7th game to get into the action, doesn't take too long to get seriously into the act. It's a corner that was flicked on. Big Gordon McQueen was there, but it was the smaller man, Lou Macari, who scored. So Manchester United have ended what was in danger of becoming a drought. Bearing in mind last Wednesday when they had so many opportunities but weren't able to score. It's in danger of being a similar story here. Well, the same could be said of Alan Ball's team, and his penalty miss now looking all the worse. Moran. Alveston. Moran. Now ball. Armstrong down the middle. Castle's coming in from the far side and chose that moment to miss kick. Ball. It's a super pass by Ball, and another one to Armstrong. And Buchan concedes the corner under full pressure. Two immaculate passes by Alan Ball, which deserved better. It's lifted Southampton immediately. Agbula. Robson. Wilkins. Whiteside. He's a bit stronger than Wilkins wanted. Rofe. Agbula. And Dennis Rofe once too often. We're telling United to get on with it. Here's McQueen at the back. Shilton. The whistle had gone. But he is a problem like that because he gets underneath goalkeepers who come down on top of him. And that's exactly what happened then with Peter Shilton. Although it was a bit of leverage from the little man, that's for sure. Alveston. Grimes. Buller chasing him. And took his eye off the ball. Nicol who covered, it's still in play. Castles. Ball. Moran runs sideways to Buchan, and now at him. Just a foot. Armstrong. It's a fine attempt. And another good run by Steve Moran. It was just nicked away from him, but he was able to find Armstrong, whose curler was only just over the angle of post and crossbar. And if Southampton lose this match, at least Laurie McMenemy will feel that Moran is on the way back, and with greater support things might change. Robson. Cues beginning to form in the middle, and they can wait for the corner. Brian Robson decides that it's not he who's going to take it. Grimes will. Out by Nicol. Wilkins. Grimes. Whiteside. Macari. Oh, has it worked? But he certainly thumped it. Typical piece of cheek from Lou Macari. And Whiteside really gave it some hammer, and Shilton able to parry away. Grimes. Well, it could have been a story of many goals. In fact, it's a story of two little men. Lou Macari finally getting his chance. Had hardly been on the field before he scored the only goal of the match, leaving Alan Ball to rue all the more the penalty that he missed in the first half. So Laurie McMenamy's team continue their disappointing run, although there were a few signs there that there could be an upturn on the way, particularly if Moran can have more support forward.
Well, those 3 points put United happily on top of the league, and I'm sure they'll forgive me this week for concentrating on Southampton. A penalty given or not given, scored or missed, can turn the tables upside down. But for me, there was so much more yesterday to glean from that match than the usual what might have been arguments. Current results have cast doubts about Southampton's viability, but they still have much to offer, particularly the blend of young and old. And a lot of people have lost confidence in Alan Ball. Look at that first-time pass. The legs are a little slower, but the brain moves just as quickly, and Moran's learning for it. On the ball now, Steve Moran, weaving in and out, turning the Manchester United defenders. There's a jink coming up in a minute that you won't believe. What about that little hop, skip and jump to give David Armstrong the first of 3 chances which we see here. He didn't finish yesterday, but he will before the season's out. Then let's look again as Steve Moran puts ball away on the right wing in oceans of space. There's time to think, there's time to get worried. This is when they desperately needed the equaliser. But he floats the ball up beautifully in the air, right into Keith Cassell's pass. Doesn't quite make the right contact, but watch again as the ball's lashed out to Ball. Armstrong coming out from the near post here, changes direction, asks for the ball, and he gets it beautifully laid right into his stride to the right of the goal. Doesn't quite make the shot, but the quickness of Ball's mind is there for all to see. But let's take another look at young Moran. He's had a back operation. This is his 2nd game back in the first team. What about that? The moment of the afternoon, that little back heel flick, and Armstrong just tried to poke at the ball without really being close enough to hit it well. Goalkeepers too are part of the skill scene. This, arguably the best goalkeeper in the world. He's on the floor now, and I want you to watch him, how quickly he gets up. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to regain position, and from then on, the save, well, was relatively easy. Peter Shilton among the Southampton players yesterday. Well, just a sample of the skills from players young and old who still make the Dell a good place to be on a Saturday afternoon. Well, few would argue that United's main rivals for the Championship will be Liverpool, whom we see now playing Swansea at the Vetch Field. Swansea as yet unbeaten at home, and Liverpool yet to lose to anyone. Your commentator, John Motson.
A significant reunion between Graham Souness, who took over the Liverpool captaincy here at the Vetch Field in an FA Cup tie last January, and Ray Kennedy, who moved from Liverpool to Swansea in the same month and has since been appointed captain of the Welsh club. 7 of the Swansea squad have been named in the Wales party for next Wednesday's European Championship qualifier here against Norway, including substitute Leighton James, and there's no place for Ian Walsh, who scored 3 of Swansea's 12 goals in their European match last Wednesday. Liverpool bring in Mark Lawrenson at number 5 and Craig Johnston at number 6 because Alan Hansen and Ronnie Whelan are unfit, and they too have an experienced international as substitute, Terry McDermott, whose last senior appearance was back in April. John Toshak still being tipped as Bob Paisley's successor, but his seat on the touchline here could be threatened by a forthcoming disciplinary appearance before the Welsh FA. Referee this afternoon, Alex Hamill from Wolverhampton. Liverpool defending the only unbeaten record in the First Division this season. Indeed, they haven't lost a league match away from home since Swansea beat them here last February, which avenged Liverpool's victory here by 4-0 in the FA Cup a month earlier. Rajkovic for Swansea, Ray Kennedy. Jeremy Charles. That was Marustic looking for Robbie James. Kenny Dalglish. Oh, beautiful play by him. Craig Johnston going through the inside left position. Alan Kennedy. That was Latchford. Robbie James. Curtis. There was some debate between referee and linesman before that corner was awarded. Liverpool defenders thought it should have been a goal kick. But Colin Irwin, another former Liverpool player, has gone forward. He's wearing number 4. Latchford is on the goal line in front of Grobbelaar. And that's Jeremy Charles. Well, they know all there is to know about Liverpool because they all used to play for them. John Toshack, Phil Borsma and Doug Livermore. Rush. Nicely laid off to Dalglish, playing deeper these days. Craig Johnston started a run on the left, and so is Alan Kennedy here. Lawrenson. Souness. Alan Kennedy. Souness. Oh, offside. Offside, not against Johnston, who had the shot, but against Alan Kennedy, who pressed further on. But early in the match, Liverpool are making good use of their left-hand side. Alan Kennedy pushing up to support, and then getting into an offside position. James. Away by Souness as far as Hodgson. Tries to turn Stevenson, who fouls him. There's a nice lively pace to the game early on. Here's Lawrenson for Liverpool. Kennedy looking for Johnston. That's Irwin. Souness. And still, that's a fine run, but he's gone into a little bit of a cul-de-sac and found Johnston beautifully to get out of it. Kennedy. Dalglish. Kennedy. Oh, back off Davis and touched in by Ian Rush. 14 minutes gone, and Ian Rush, for whom Swansea was a lucky ground last season in the FA Cup, opens the scoring here in the league. Alan Kennedy put into a good position, but Di Davis, unhappy perhaps with the way the ball came back off him. Rush put it in, and Liverpool lead. And that means Ian Rush has now scored in the last 4 matches, continuing his consistent form of last season. Here's Curtis for Swansea. Aziabdic. James. And he was Swansea's top scorer last season, Robbie James, with 14 in the league. The way that Hodgson and Rush push up on these defenders and cause them to make errors has helped Alan Kennedy to get through here, and Di Davis committing himself well. This possession football of Liverpool's clearly evident in the first half. It's the way they've made their name down the years. They're pushing the ball about with great confidence. Sammy Lee. Phil Neal finding time here to join the attack. It's checked a little now, but still they have men to spare. Souness. Craig Johnston coming in. And Marustic under some stress on that side of the field. Gets the ball out for a corner. Hodgson being marked by Stevenson. The ball played to Alan Kennedy. Now Souness. Low in again for Kennedy, that's dangerous. And pulled back for Rush to turn in, number 2. From a very good ball by Dalglish. 22 minutes gone. And it's now becoming very embarrassing for Swansea. Kenny Dalglish getting in behind the defence to take the pass from Souness. Turning the ball back across the goal, and it was easy there for Rush, who gets 2 now, as he did on this ground in the FA Cup last season. Well, one made the point in the first 5 minutes that the left flank of Liverpool was looking ominous for the right flank of Swansea, and that's the way it's worked out. Both the goals have come down that side, and Dalglish, who made that one, looks for Rush again. Craig Johnston running up. Here he comes, taken out by Rajkovic. Here's Neal. 2-0 the score. And it's well deserved. Sammy Lee. Hodgson. Rushes on the far side. Oh, what a volley. And he's got it back straight from the throw. And Hodgson. Well, David Hodgson with the header. But set up, as those Liverpool supporters would be quick to acknowledge, by a man who can do no wrong in this first half. And that's number 9, Ian Rush. What a match he's having up to now. Dalglish. Johnston, oh, right across. Rush looking for the touch as well. Craig Johnston, who threw himself for the header. What a good piece of approach play again by Liverpool, and by Dalglish in particular. So, the damage done here in the first half against the Welsh club by a Welshman, Ian Rush, whose 2 goals have taken his total to the season to 6. And the damage done particularly down Swansea's right flank. Alan Kennedy made the first goal and Dalglish the second. Well, in Anfield last season in the league, I can recall the score being 2-0 to Swansea, and Liverpool coming back to draw the match. Now the roles are reversed with that particular task facing Swansea. There goes Curtis. Ball was out. Well turned there by Mark Lawrenson. He's so confident on the ball, and that was a nice touch by Johnston to Dalglish. And Johnston again. Little twist, taking him past two. Oof. Well, Johnston showing there that he can take on opponents in a difficult part of the field, really. Not a good angle, but the shot was powerful. Thompson. Hodgson out on the right, 3 the other way. 4 if you count Sammy Lee. And into Craig Johnston. And it came off Rajkovic. And had it not done so, I rather think Ian Rush would have been in for his hat-trick. Hodgson coming in at the back and fouling Stevenson as he did so. And Swansea about to make a substitution which is hardly a surprise. They're going to take off Chris Marustic. And replace him with Leighton James, who scored in both the league meetings between Swansea and Liverpool last season. And they badly need a lift from him now to the Welsh club. Well, Swansea will have to score to put the game back on the boil, because Liverpool for the moment have got things all their own way. There's a case of a player pinching a few yards to take a throw, and the referee awarding it the other way at first, but the linesman, I think, has got a point he wants to make anyway. I think it may be something that was said there by Hodgson. And for speaking out of turn, he is cautioned. Johnston. Little triangle by Liverpool to get the ball down the line, but it was out. Liverpool now to make a substitution. The player going off is David Hodgson, who has been booked. And the player coming on is Terry McDermott, whose last senior appearance for Liverpool was way back on April the 7th. He was with England in Spain, but never kicked a ball in the World Cup. So he's back in the action after quite a long time. Rajkovic. On by Ray Kennedy, Charles, Lawrenson. Staying cool as Curtis closed in. Johnston's throw, looking for Rush. Dalglish coming up just outside him. Still Dalglish, pulling it back, and Rajkovic read his intentions. Well, one mustn't take any credit away from Liverpool, but I think the Swansea staff might agree today that their team haven't done themselves justice. It's a matter of debate how much you put that down to the opposition. Here's Dalglish. And Craig Johnston's in space. He's kept it in. Just wonder whether if he'd stuck the left foot out rather than the right, he might have had a better chance of making that. Quarter of an hour left, and still Liverpool leading by those two simple first-half goals. Colin Irwin's pass going astray. Alan Kennedy for Liverpool. Dalglish. And here comes Rush. Craig Johnston using his arms. Leighton James. Hadziabdic. Curtis. Back again to James. Lawrenson hasn't put a foot wrong this afternoon. And he's now made progress down Liverpool's right to find Dalglish. Oh, and great running by Souness in the centre here. And by McDermott coming through now, but he ran offside, McDermott. Again, an indication, though, of how much work Liverpool do off the ball. Players coming almost unnoticed from deep positions. And Phil Neal finding time to get forward now. Dalglish. Souness has got Alan Kennedy square. Little deflection on the shot, and Di Davis forced to get down quickly. Dalglish and Hadziabdic. Dalglish. Oh, rolled it back behind Rush. Souness. And now Kennedy again. And McDermott. And it was a question there of whether Liverpool could play the final pass. Davis, who managed to parry the deflected shot. Here's Craig Johnston. He's following up as well. Certainly had an energetic game. And here's Stevenson. Curtis making the run down the left for Swansea. Leighton James. And here's Ray Kennedy. Good effort, fine save. Ray Kennedy against his old club. The best Swansea effort of the afternoon. Fine response from Bruce Grobbelaar. Warm applause then, and a corner to Swansea. And well taken by a goalkeeper whose confidence is very high indeed. Stevenson. Hadziabdic. Liverpool again forcing Swansea to go back and square. Look at Dalglish there, the appetite and enthusiasm of the Liverpool team, an object lesson. Charles coming in though for Swansea. Here's McDermott. Lee. Lawrenson. And the interchange has released some space on the left for Liverpool with Alan Kennedy. Dalglish off the chest to Johnston. 3-0, and it was made to look so simple. Alan Kennedy on the left-hand side, the ball played into Dalglish. What a lovely piece of chest control that was. And Craig Johnston clipped his shot as the defender challenged and beat Davis down by his near post. So, with 6 minutes left, a comprehensive victory here for Liverpool. Just one short now of the 4 they scored here last January. But after conceding 6 goals in their last 2 league matches, Liverpool will be just as pleased, I'm sure, about keeping a clean sheet if they succeed in that at the other end as they are in scoring 3. But Swansea have got time perhaps to puncture that a little. Jeremy Charles is the time for a late consolation for Swansea. Curtis. Leighton James. Shot blocked by Alan Kennedy, and now it's Johnston returning it to him. Dermot. Lee. And McDermott shapes to go one way and goes the other to find Dalglish. Five Liverpool players involved in this move so far, but the pass from Souness goes astray. All gets a little bit frantic right at the end. Graham Souness, the Liverpool player involved, with a fairly hefty challenge on Rajkovic. Don't think the referee need prolong this because he's well into injury time as it is. Well, Liverpool seem to spot a Swansea weakness very early in this match. They attacked persistently down the Liverpool left in the first half. Both their goals then came from that flank, so did the third one in the second half, and their defence, with Mark Lawrenson outstanding at number 5, kept a nice tidy sheet after conceding 6 goals in their last 2 league matches. So all in all, another very impressive Liverpool performance on a day when Swansea, with their players perhaps thinking a little bit about next Wednesday, didn't really perform to do themselves justice.
Well, Swansea supporters, who are renowned for their readiness to applaud good play by the visitors, would have been mesmerised by Liverpool's magic. Their teamwork was devastating. It's simple, it's based on unselfish running and the ability of the players to see and find each other at the drop of a hat. They've got a reservoir of talent and quick thinking at their disposal. We just examine the way they get a couple of their goals. The ball spread to the right from Lawrenson there, but look how Phil Neal, when he needs to, toe pokes off a first-time pass to the waiting player again, creating the space and the time for Kennedy on the other side of the field. It's a delightful floated chip that he whips up here, but once again, a first-time pass. It's a chest pass and it's a first-time shot, helped in with the aid of a deflection. One of the goals. This one originated from a corner, and they don't lose the ball from that position. Dalglish was the man who took the corner. Number 10 there, Hodgson, does the dummy, quick thinking, because Dalglish is still spare. Nobody bothered to pick him up from the moment that he took the kick. And of course, it looks the simplest thing in the world for Ian Rush there to finish it off. Simplicity itself. But just let's look at another feature of Liverpool, and the most important one. There are no stars. They all work for each other, not only when they have the ball, but when they don't have it. Ian Rush shapes up to hit this volley really well and on target, and could be excused standing there to admire it for a moment. But as Davis shapes up to throw the ball to the vacant spot there, you can see that Rush hasn't stopped. Liverpool haven't got the ball. He wants it to create yet another chance with that perfect chip. Well, that's the standard the rest have to beat to upset Bob Paisley's last season. And whoever succeeds Bob will inherit a powerful squad with plenty of life in them yet, which will include their £900,000 buy from Brighton, Mark Lawrenson, who seems now to be part of the furniture at Anfield.
I think, you know, the way we played, and we passed the ball to red shirts, and we made it very, very difficult for Swansea to get the ball. And I think all the time you're doing that, you're pulling people out of position and creating chances. And we scored 3 goals and won 3-0.
But if the secret is so simple, or if there is no secret, why do Liverpool keep winning year after year when other teams can't seem to master it?
I don't really think there is a secret. You know, I think if you don't give the ball away, you don't allow other teams to play. And also if you close other teams down, you know, you deny them space. And I think the thing with Liverpool is that they've always seemed to have bought sort of good players, not too many untried players, and players they know who can play in the First Division and play to their style.
You're playing in a position where obviously there's lots of competition. Alan Hansen currently out the side, obviously. I mean, how much does that really keep top players on their toes?
I think that's probably, if there is going to be a secret, that maybe it's at Liverpool, the fact that, you know, you could probably call upon 16, 17 players who would do the business for them in the team, and so you're going to have 5 or 6 out every week, so you know you've got to play well in order to keep your place.
One thing I noticed is that even senior players who have been around a long time, like Kenny Dalglish, their appetite for doing the basics in the game still seems to be totally unaffected.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think if you came down and saw us training, it's the same way. It's very competitive. You know, we played in training the same way as we play on a Saturday or on a weekday. You know, we want to keep the ball and want to keep the opposition out and, you know, score goals all the time.
How much is said in the week at Anfield about tactics and the way that you play?
Very, very little. Really, the boss just gives us our heads and lets us go out and play. It's as simple as that. He believes he's probably got, you know, a squad of the best players in England, and he just lets us go out and play and dictate the way we're going to play ourselves.
And in a word, is possession the key to it?
Yes, I would say so. If you don't give the ball away, you're always going to have a chance, I would say.
Well, Bobby Robson's first selection as New England manager is expected within the next hour, and the choice of captain will be interesting. The favourites for the job being Ray Wilkins and his Manchester United colleague Brian Robson. I have a feeling it could be Robson. That's just one of the problems the England manager has had to face in his new job. Phil Thompson of Liverpool and Manchester United Steve Coppell were both injured yesterday, remember. But apart from Alvin Martin of West Ham, there will be no other additions to the squad. So just how much of a headache has Bobby Robson found it?
It's something that I've got to soldier along with. I mean, I knew the problems and the hassles of the job and the irritations. These are they. Ron Greenwood warned me about them. I mean, I think in this particular case, while I'm sorry to lose Coppell and Thompson, I've been a bit fortunate. There have been many times in the past that I understand from Ron Greenwood where he's had to sit back and add to 12 players, you know, where he's had a deletion of about 6 to 7 players from the squad. But at the same time, I do think that we risk our best players to domestic football on a Saturday prior to league football, and that isn't good for English international football and the success of English international football.
And the full England side is not the only one affected by injury. The 2 under-21 squads have lost 6 players. Denmark have their problems as well, mind you, and will be without their 2 best players, Alan Simonsen of Barcelona and Frank Arneson of Valencia. Wales manager Mike England has fewest worries. He told me that so far there's a clean bill of health for Wednesday's game against Norway at Swansea. Owen Hand's Republic of Ireland squad has lost several players for their game in Holland. Ronnie Whelan of Liverpool, Kevin Moran and his Manchester United teammate Ashley Grimes, plus Fulham keeper Jerry Payton, who needed 23 stitches in the head after being challenged by Middlesbrough's David Shearer during yesterday's 4-1 away win. That challenge drew a sharp rebuke from Fulham manager Malcolm MacDonald, who told us today, "Some injuries are unavoidable. This one was totally unnecessary. What happened must be on the conscience of the Middlesbrough player." Borough boss Bobby Murdoch is one of 2 managers who are having to face up to the usual rumours of discontent after a bad start to the season. The other is Bobby Ferguson of Ipswich, who are currently bottom of the First Division. But club captain Mick Mills says this of the Ipswich start: the team has played better this season than in the last 4 months of Bobby Robson's era. People should refrain from blaming Bobby Ferguson, who's had a good response from the players, and they should realise Ipswich's bad result started last February. Interesting news concerning Scottish international football. Scottish players with English clubs could be ruled out of international football if their clubs demand cash for their release. The Scottish FA will refuse to pay a similar fee to the £750 which top English clubs are to get from the English FA for each player released for international duty. The decision could jeopardise the careers of players like Graham Souness, Kenny Dalglish, Alan Hansen and a host of others. Scottish FA Secretary Ernie Walker said, "We have no intention of playing international matches at Hampden for the benefit of English clubs." If they're not prepared to release their players, we would have 11 home-based Scots in the team. 2 afternoon results in the 4th Division today. Northampton 7, Bristol City 1, and Scunthorpe 0, York City 0. The North American soccer season came to an end last night with New York Cosmos regaining the title of champions. Cosmos beat Seattle Sounders 1-0, and Giorgio Canalia got the winner. Finally, after the opening 3 games in Scotland's Premier Division, only one side has a 100% record, and that's reigning champion Celtic. Yesterday they faced what, on paper at least, looked a hard game away to Motherwell. But, inspired by Charlie Nicholas, surely a certainty for the next Scotland squad, they lashed in 7.
Just over 25 minutes gone in the first half. There's no offside. The running by... Oh, brilliantly put in. Charlie Nicholas. The run by McGarvey. 1-0 for Celtic. 26 minutes gone. There's Aiken. Nicholas, oh, brilliant pass. Aiken must be, yes. 2-0 as McGarvey ends a quite brilliant move. Who's going to drive it in? McLeod. 3-0. Brushed away by McClellan. Oh, a bit too much. Roy Aiken goes, and he's on his own. Is this a great solo effort? It is. 4-0. Charlie Nicholas hovering around as well. McLeod, there's the chip. And that's it. Charlie Nicholas from McKenna. 5. And we could be on the verge of an avalanche. Away goes Aiken. He's on his own. Here's Crowe. Will he lob it? He's done it. No lob. Straight forward. 6th goal. Roy Aiken second. And I can't get it away. Goes Aiken again. Oh, it's 2 against 1, would you believe? And McGarvey and Nicholas. Is he going to be on selfish? Is he taking it himself? He is. His hat-trick. Absolutely superbly taken. The 7th goal.
Well, surprisingly, that mammoth defeat was the first time Motherwell have been beaten in the Scottish League for 29 matches. Well, Saturday can't be perfect for everyone. But if you're a Spurs supporter, there's a touch of perfection coming up for you in Sports Night next Wednesday, with an emotional, nostalgic and rather glorious item celebrating their centenary. That's in Sports Night at 10:05 on Wednesday. Well, let's end today's programme then in buoyant mood with Ron Atkinson, Manchester United's manager, top of the league, laying his thoughts on the line about our national game. Good afternoon.
No better form of entertainment than football when it's played properly. And I feel sure that if everybody, and it looks as if the majority of people are at least getting the fingers out a little bit, realises that the game is a super game played right. OK, the new little innovations may have helped it, but they don't really need new innovations. They just need players, people, managers, coaches, all to play with good attitudes. And I think the game will flourish.